Hey everybody, welcome to String 'em Up. My name's Dave Holland, and I'm about to play a gig with my bluegrass band, the Crumbs. Incidentally, tonight we're playing as a duo. Normally there's 3 or 4 of us. And we're here at White River Brewing in Springfield, Missouri. Now, I play a lot of gigs. In an average year, at least 150 or more. And I do everything from solo gigs, jazz, symphony concerts, musicals, basically about anything I can fit into my schedule. But tonight, this is my favorite type of gig: brewery, tap rooms, and beer gardens. So I'd like to take this opportunity to discuss what I, a gigging professional, take to a typical bluegrass gig. You may be surprised. So I'm getting ready for a big gig in Springfield, Missouri tomorrow night. Springfield's about 200 miles away from our home. We're going to do 2 gigs. And so I'm packing up my toolbox. It has become quite a mess in the past few weeks. So I want to make sure it's kind of nice and orderly just in case I have to get into it. So what do I take with me? Well, first thing, string winder. Never leave home without one. Also, string clippers and pliers. Needle nose are usually pretty good just in case you got to tie off bass strings that are broken, and sometimes we actually have to do that. Also, any truss rod wrenches will always be good. I also take a full set of Allen wrenches with me. Also, never forget tuner batteries for clip-on tuners. Let's see, pin pullers, and these are also nut adjusters for the tuning machines. Also, always take some spare bridge pins and strap buttons. I always take at least a couple of extra capos with me. Never leave home without those. Spare picks are always good. Take a spare slide for sure. That never hurt anyone. Here's the big one you guys are probably waiting on: strings. I use EJ19s for my Epiphone master built right here, and EJ16s for my Taylor. So put those right in there. Also always take a spare phone charger brick. Also my Square card reader for merch sales. I usually just do the Square sales on my iPhone or my iPad. On the first aid side of things, definitely always take some Band-Aids. Can never go wrong with those. Super glue, which is great for quickly sealing up particularly nasty little cuts. Maybe not a first aid item, but I do play a lot of classical guitar gigs, and so definitely use those to keep your fingernails in the best shape they can be in. They're also really good for sanding off the burrs from a problematic string saddle, bridge saddle. Also usually like to take Kleenex, and especially if you're playing out of town, take some allergy medication, some antihistamine. Let's see, also probably a couple extra slides. You can never have enough of those, because I play glass and ceramic and these things break, and there's nothing worse than planning a good part of your set to be slide tunes and then having your good ceramic slide smash to the floor and break into 1,000 pieces. So definitely need to have some extras of those. Also, I'm actually using it while I'm recording this video, but I'll do this for show anyway. This is my Shure microphone that I can just plug straight into my MV88, I believe it is. I can plug straight into my iPad and my iPhone, so well, we won't drop it in there. Couple of spare lighters are always good to have. Actually, I think that's probably about everything. Oh, I know, for driving, mints. One of the things that I have figured out about long road trips is, your mouth gets dry and you want to drink a lot of Coke, or drink a lot of water. But the more you drink, the more pit stops you have to make. Always take mints with you, so you can just suck on some mints, keep your mouth moist, and you won't be drinking so much liquid that you have to make frequent pit stops. So that's my toolbox. So I just packed up my toolbox for the big gig that we're going to be doing tomorrow night. And it occurred to me, well, wait, there are some things that I do take to gigs that I don't keep in a toolbox. They are pocket items. And the first one is obviously going to be a pick. And I usually use, I always use the Dunlop Jazz 3 XLs. I'm old enough to remember tortoiseshell, and nothing beats it for on the string action and attack and gliding off of the string. Man, tortoiseshell's great. But these do a great job, and especially since I play a lot of bluegrass on heavy strings, these picks really do stand up to the extra mass and the string tension, and they do a phenomenal job. Let's see, on the other side, I always have a slide in my pocket. Now usually I keep my Dunlop Joe Perry Boneyard short large. Short refers to how long it is, and large refers to the diameter. That's usually what I keep in my pocket, but as you just saw, I packed it in my toolbox, so this was what happened to be in my pocket as I was packing. And the other left hand side pocket item that I always keep is a capo, and I never leave the house with any of these items, the capo, the slide, or picks. You never know what's going to happen. But this is the Shubs C1. I think it's the best capo on the market. I also use some of the Planet Waves NS capos, the Ned Steinberger design capos. These are my favorites. I also have used Kaisers, and I own several Kaisers. I own several of each of these types of capos, but this is the one that always goes in my pocket with me. And, if you're a pretty serious guitar player, I would hope that that you adopt the policy of never leaving the house without picks, capo, and a slide.
Go, Dave, go!
So we just went on our first break, and probably the first thing you'll notice is that I go to a gig with a guitar, and a gig with an Epiphone Masterbuilt AJ500, which I bought used for a pittance. Let me turn it around here. And I originally bought it as a backup guitar in case my Taylor 310 went down, but it's louder, which is kind of important in a bluegrass band if you're playing with a banjo player. The neck felt better, and most importantly, I think it actually sounds better. So it became my main guitar, and the 310 is now my backup. Incidentally, both the Taylor and the Epiphone are equipped with Baggs Element VTCs, and if you'll notice, my TC Electronics Polytuner, it never leaves the guitar.
All right, pick on it. Dave Holland, everybody. Woo!
Real fast. That's the White River Brewing Company patio. Oh, yeah.
So, I'm back home safe and sound from our Springfield gig over the weekend. And just thought maybe I'd like to go ahead and do a recap to the What I Take to a Gig video. And let's see, that would be the guitar, the toolbox, pocket items, and of course we had merch with us, t-shirts and CDs, and that's pretty much it. What? Some of you are concerned about chords, amps, PA, etc. Well, our reality is that most of our gigs are, oh my God, horror unplugged. So, I walk in with my gig bag, merch case, and my pockets full of stuff. Brandon carries his bass under his arm with one hand and his rosin and his bow in the other hand. And on the gigs where Jeff can make it with us, sometimes he has a guitar with him as well as his mandolin. But for most of us, the beer gardens, restaurants, tap rooms we play in, they're small enough for us to carry entirely acoustically. And we've learned to play and sing really loudly when we need to. That's something that most bluegrass musicians, I think, learn to do. Now, there are occasions when we might need a little help, so we do actually have sound equipment we can call upon. It's always in the car, but we'll cover that in another video. Thanks for watching String 'em Up. My name's Dave Holland, and remember to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Also, feel free to leave comments and suggestions for any topics you'd like to see in future episodes. Have fun, stay safe, and be careful out there. See you next time.